Got Dominic and John's, which was an awesome twosome, and we thought three of them would be even better. And it's a great pleasure to announce our Star Trek panel of the day, the show. If I can have a huge round of applause. Mr. Rene Auberjenois, Mr. John Billingsley, or Kiki as he's known, and Dominic Keating.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
You want to say it?
All right, Wellington. That's windy Wellington.
Let's just get us off on an elevated note.
It's all downhill.
Well, here, take my mic. No, I don't have that.
Wait, you don't have a mic? There's only two mics. Well, we'll pass it over.
Here we go, I know. Can you tell we're actors?
Oh, that would work for me. Hey, bring the sofa up. I'll lie down there.
Thank you all very, very much for having us. This is a second time for Dom, a second time for myself, and we are elated to be back in your beautiful country.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
This is my, isn't that nice? I like that. My favorite. All right. I'm going on a diet as soon as I get back to the U.S. Yeah. Do you have any introductory remarks you'd care to make? If you like, we can do the whole show in mime. Raise your hand if you'd like that. Raise your hand if you'd like Dominic to do the whole show in mime.
It's been a long time.
Shall we go straight to questions? And do we have somebody out there with a mic to, why don't you go ahead and start us off? A question. Who has a question? Oh, way in the front. We're going to make you run today. Hi.
This is a question for Odo. I was wondering how you mentally and physically prepare yourself to become a liquid.
I don't do that anymore, and I hardly remember how I did it at the time.
It must be pretty hard.
It was, I'm intrigued.
I mean, I've never turned into a liquid
Yeah,
before, so.
you're intrigued. I'm intrigued
take your time.
too.
I want to know how you do it.
Take my time on this question. Well, I don't have a glib answer for that. The thing about the character that always appealed to me was the contradictory aspects of his nature, which was that in his solid form, he was a very rigid, sort of humorless character. And then he melted and was incredibly fluid and actually was, in many ways, I hope, a kind of a humorous character. Mostly to tell you the truth, now it's quite a while since I played that part, and mostly what I recall of it is how uncomfortable I was in the makeup. It took 2.5 hours to get
Tell it to the judge.
Yeah. It took this from someone who didn't have to wear any makeup. Yeah. We'll tell you about that.
Go on.
Listen. What you do when you it took 2.5 hours for my makeup, which by Star Trek standards was nothing. How long did your makeup take?
It took 2.5, but they'd figured out by the time they got to our show that less is more with the makeup in terms of saving the actors.
Right, yeah. So, I remember when we shot the pilot, I was in the makeup for 21 hours straight. And it was agony. But, what you do in those situations is you remember how much they're paying you to do it. And
lie back and think of it.
That's always worked for me.
Yeah. And you remember how much all of you care about it. And so, I'm actually, I gotta admit, and I don't know about you, I'm amazed to see how many of you are out here. Did you have nothing else to do at this convention?
Star Trek is the best thing ever.
What?
Star Trek is the most amazing thing ever.
Here you go, girl.
There you go.
running water.
Right. Okay, well, I managed to evade a humorous answer to a humorous question, but, or maybe you didn't mean it humorously, but I think I've talked
Well, I
enough
just wish
now.
I could do it.
Think
so-
I've talked enough now? Let's have another question!
It's going to come back to you again. You realize that. Don't sit down. I was here yesterday. Everybody's heard my spiel.
I can be a tree. Learned that at drama school.
Yes, sir.
Dominic, how many of the starships can you name? How many of the starships out of the Starfleet can you name?
Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria, Rudolph, Donner, Blitzen. That's 6.
Listen, mate. They're all grey and they're made of wood. Get a life, wherever you are.
None of us can name a single one. Mine was called Enterprise.
What are we called, Enterprise?
We were called Enterprise.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah. God bless. NX-01. Hey.
So this man was here yesterday. He knows everything there is to know. I guarantee you.
Where is
about
he?
all the starships.
Oh, there he is.
We established that yesterday. He knows their weight. He knows where the bathrooms are in all the ships. I don't know why, but he does.
Took me a couple of episodes to find the bathroom, let me tell you, people.
Yeah. Another question. Yes.
Hi, this is for Dominic. Over here, Dom.
Hello.
Congratulations on being engaged.
Oh, thank you very much. For all that don't know, 2 days ago, on the shores of Lake Hawea at sunrise, I proposed to my girlfriend, and thankfully, she said yes.
Well done.
So, thank you very much, mate.
Hey, you've been on 2 of John Billingsley's shows, Enterprise and Prison Break. What is it about him?
He's good. You're good. I like that.
Oh,
that's turning it around.
Who is this? I want to stand up and tip my hat off to you. The excellent phrasing of that question.
I once introduced John to some friend of mine and said he was on my show. I never heard the end of it. Let me say.
In fact, I planted that question.
No, we haven't finished it yet. What is it about, Dominic, what is it about John that makes him such a great actor?
Not least of all his bonhomie and generosity. Well, he knows his lines, you know, first and foremost. John's great fun to work with. You know, we had so much fun and camaraderie on our set, and it was never a dull day. And you know, I tell you one thing. The one thing I remember most about working those years was how much we laughed, and you know, at all the inopportune moments.
That's why we only got 4 years.
And
laugh.
Some of those bridge scenes were just because those were quite long days for everyone but the captain and probably to Paul.
And me, I wasn't on the bridge.
And John, of course.
I laughed the most on those days.
John was at home singing his favourite Star Trek song.
You want to hear my favourite song?
Day off, day off. 6 days off and the checks still come.
Sitting at home, drinking beer in the sun. 6 days off and the checks still come. Yeah, he used to whistle that on the way to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have another question?